need to grab my phone.
Once again, it's on. Oh man, we are back. We wasn't here last week, but we here tonight. Welcome to Two Cigars in the Blunt. And of course, you know I am the man on the street.
Tim Dog from Be More Careful.
And the mad professor stuck in the boot.
Yeah, we missed a couple of people, but hopefully they'll be joining us. But hey, we're gonna start right on time. He's trying to be punctual.
Professional.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, we try to be professional. We don't know how long it's gonna last, but
5 minutes.
Like I said,
give us 5 good minutes.
Ooh, that much?
I believe in us.
Yeah, I believe in us too. But ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome y'all back. Hopefully y'all be entertained by our discussion tonight. But before we get started, like we do with all our podcasts, we always got to ask the brothers how their day was. So, Mad Professor, how was your day?
Once again, I ain't do shit because I didn't know what day it was, to be perfectly honest with you. I was thinking all day I didn't know what the day was. I thought yesterday was Friday itself.
God damn, you confused as hell.
Bro, I just said fuck it today.
I got you. Tim Dog, what about you?
Man, my wife's grandkids are in town. I'm trying to fix this. You see them phasing.
What do you mean your wife's grandkids are in town?
Everybody said they're yours too, nigga.
Yeah, how the hell shit is that?
My wife's grandkids are here, right? So
niggas, bro, I swear.
I guess.
No, they mine too, because I'm all they know. But anyway, when they come by, I always get the floors and everything done for them because they like to walk around in socks and shoes, and they just like to be around me. They were like, "Oh, Tim, you're so fun." Especially the daughter. She's 6. Oh my goodness, I'm wrapped around her finger. She's a bully. Come here, Tim. I was like, aren't you a bully? I'm not a bully. Just come on. I'm like, okay.
But she could be a bully when y'all the same size. Shit, what you expect?
There you go. There you go.
Shit. Somebody got
Don't
one
get
taller
mad.
than us.
I hope your ass getting gout while we talking.
Don't get mad.
Whatever. How a girl say? What Celie say? Whatever you done to me, I done to you. So Tim Dog, whatever you try to put on me, what you come back on you, Tim.
You know what? I like to thank my middle finger for always being there while I need them, sticking up for me.
I got you. I got you.
I can't do it right now.
I'm gonna take that back, man. I don't wish gout on anybody. Hey, that's one pain I don't want nobody to go through. But as for me, man, y'all already know tomorrow I'll be celebrating my 55th birthday. So you know,
happy birthday to you.
Thank you for not singing the song to me, dog. Right damn. But
thank you. God, I hate that damn song.
Thank you. But y'all know everybody knows me. I don't work on my birthday. But you know, Kim was like, "But your birthday is Saturday." Well, I took the day before my birthday, so either the day before or the day after. I don't work on my birthday.
3-day weekend.
Yeah. So I took the day off, but I did do some yard work, man. I went out in my flower bed, man, and I don't know the hell I was thinking I could do my yard myself. So I went and hired some people, but I went and straightened my yard back out. Well, part of my yard, so I could get my grass. Grass was getting taller than Tim. I was like, "What the fuck?" Grandkids will get lost in that bitch.
Hey, that ain't grass.
Be letting that happen.
Calling me, that ain't grass. Trees.
Yeah, so I got out there, man. I worked in the yard, but man, you know, getting ready for tomorrow to celebrate my 55th. But brothers, man, we're gonna have a good show tonight. And I hopefully y'all been following this. Because it was on my mind when I first heard it. But then, you know, some other stuff came out. But let's go ahead and get into this, man. With these twins that they found dead on top of this, I guess this hiking trail.
We want to know exactly what happened.
The family of Kadir Malik Lewis and Nazir Rahim Lewis are looking for answers. After authorities classified the twin brothers' deaths as a murder-suicide 1 week after hikers in Hiwassee, Georgia found their bodies on March 8th, their loved ones are questioning what led to the harrowing discovery.
They're very protective of each other. They love each other. They're like inseparable. So I couldn't imagine them hurting each other because I never even seen them get into a fist fight before.
Kadir and Nazir, 19, were found shot to death nearly 90 miles from their Lawrenceville home at the summit of Bell Mountain, a location their family said they'd never visited before.
How they end out in the mountains, they don't hike out there. They've never even been out there. They don't know nothing about Hiwassee, Georgia. They never even heard of Bell Mountains. So how did they end up right there?
In fact, the twins had booked a flight to Boston to visit their friends the day before their bodies were found. Their family reveals that Kadir and Nazir still had airline tickets in their wallets on the mountain. Although the Georgia Bureau of Investigation has ruled it a murder-suicide, Rahim told the station, "We knew right away that wasn't true." As for what Georgia officials have said of their deaths, the GBI shared in a March 16th statement, both men were found with gunshot wounds. The preliminary investigation reveals the deaths to be a murder-suicide. Autopsies are pending. The death investigation is active and ongoing. The statement also added, a GBI medical examiner has completed the autopsies, but the official ME ruling and results are pending additional forensic tests.
Man, Professor, I'm coming to you first, man, because when I first heard this story, man, I was like, man, this is just sad all the way around. And, you know, two brothers, two twin brothers, and like they say in peace, they was on their way to Boston to visit some friends, and they never made the trip. But my question to you is this: the first question, this man, Professor, is: do you believe the family members when they say that these young brothers were not capable of killing each other? Your thoughts?
Quite honestly, you can't believe it because anybody's capable of almost anything.
That's true.
And unless you're with somebody 24/7 from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep, you don't know 100% of what they got going on. You don't.
All right.
I mean, hell, my kids lived with me for a long time, and I didn't know 100% of what they were doing or what was going on with them, even if they was in the house with me all day long. So, I mean, it's a horrible situation, and until evidence points one way or another, I don't believe authorities when they say murder suicide in a lot of cases, because a lot of times it doesn't make any sense, and with these two it apparently doesn't make sense if you were to believe the family rather. But so again, it's kind of hard to try to make sense of it all because until the investigation's over, they're not going to release any information.
Yeah.
So,
So,
I mean,
that
there's
is true,
that.
man. Yeah, and you know, I never thought about what you just said, man, Professor, because you never with your family members 24 hours a day, so we don't know what is capable of a person during that time. You know what I'm saying? So even though they had the tickets to fly to Boston, we actually don't know what really happens. But Tim Doe, your thoughts? Do you believe the family when they say that they can believe that these brothers wouldn't harm one another?
Well, I believe that the family thinks that the brothers could harm one another. And like Matt Professor said, no one knows until after investigation. You would not want to think about that. But sometimes the obvious is the obvious. And the GBI, they saw something that made them presume that it was a murder suicide. So from there, you got to go follow the evidence after the autopsy, after forensics analysis and everything. So, I mean, it's just tragic. You really don't know what was in those two kids' minds. They could have booked the tickets as a ploy. I mean, it's just sad.
Yeah,
And until we really know, we won't know.
Yeah, you know, the only thing that I find strange is that these guys basically that are in the prime of their life. Oh, there go Paula. What's going on, Paula?
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Oh, go, girl.
Yeah, these guys are basically in the prime of their life and about to go visit family members, and to find that they hear something so tragic that happens. But my question to you, Matt Professor, is this: we've seen things like this before. I don't know if you remember when they found it. I think it was in the state of Georgia too, when they found the young man rolled up in the pad, and the family members say that something happened, but everybody's saying that he basically did it to himself. So, but
in the
you
gym.
was,
Yeah.
you would say to yourself, man, this is kind of odd, wouldn't you?
Well, see that one, the two cases I'm not gonna put together
Yeah, but
because,
I'm just saying,
and that,
with
I
the
mean, I understand where
GBI.
you're going with
Yeah,
it. That the investigative body is not always the most honest because how this kid roll himself up in a mat and in an empty gym by himself, a 1,000-pound mat basically. But like I said, in this case, since their bodies were discovered in such a remote place, and the parents and family are saying they've never been there or they didn't know the area, like I said, you don't know
yeah,
that. You
yeah. We
can't
don't know that.
100%
Yeah,
guarantee that you don't know that. So I mean, like I said, I don't want to trust the investigative body, but at this point you have to, unless somebody with intimate knowledge comes forward and says something completely different with proof.
I got you. I got you. And we want to welcome Miss Paula. Miss Paula, we haven't seen you in a
God
while.
damn.
She got her shades
Oh,
on.
Future
So,
so
so
damn bright.
yeah. So, Miss
mhm.
Paula, how have you been?
Yo, what city are you in now?
Yeah, what city are you in? Are you in Atlanta?
We can't hear you.
It's been forever. Sorry, I had to unmute.
She don't know how to work
I'm
her
giving
shit
it
no
to
more.
myself.
She don't know how to work her shit no more.
It's been that long, huh?
So how have you been, Miss Paula?
Can you all hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear
Oh
you.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm good. It's been so long. Oh my fucking god! I feel like every Friday night something has been going on that I've not been here. And the times I've been available, y'all ain't doing Friday nights. Like the fuck? And I don't get a memo. I'm on Facebook checking your profiles, and I see these niggas ain't live. I'm like, okay, I guess I wasn't told because I ain't been here in a while, but cool. You know, all good. We still cool. I still love your motherfuckers, you know. I'm here.
I got you. I got you. Well, basically, what we're talking about is, I don't know if you was following the thing about the two
And
young
wait
men.
1 minute.
Go ahead.
Tim, stop talking
Uh-oh.
shit on my pictures, okay?
Hey, I can't help it.
Damn.
You know what I do. You know what I do.
Yeah, I got you.
That's how
But-
that's how I know you missed me. For you to take time to comment on my pictures, that's you missing me. It's all
That's
good.
right.
And,
That's right.
and to say I'm really, really sorry. I'm still apologizing for you. You just don't know how bad I feel. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I
But
love them pants and I'm happy I wore them and I don't care what the fuck you say about them.
I
Okay?
got you. I got you. But Miss Paula, what we basically was talking about, I don't know if you've been following because it happened in our state of Georgia about these two young men
The
that was
two
on their way.
boys who
Yeah, that was on their way to
Mhm.
Boston. Then they found them on the trail. And basically, the question that I was asking, like the math professor and Tim Dog, they already answered it. But I'm asking the same question: do you believe the family members when they say that these young brothers were not capable of killing each other?
I mean, I don't know if I believe it or I don't believe it because it can be both true or false. Because again, family members never know exactly what's going on in people's lives. Like I've realized that myself, especially. But also again, I mean, we don't know what happened to them to the extent that of them killing themselves. So I,
Yeah,
I don't know, bro. You know,
I
in
got
this
you.
world, in these times, anything is possible.
I got you. I got you. Got you. You know, Tim Dog, I'm gonna ask you this question, Tim Dog. You know, and I'm gonna come ask the rest of the panel. Were the police so quick to label their death as murder suicide without doing any investigation? You know, I think 2 days later they say it was a murder suicide. Don't you find that kind of peculiar, Tim Dog?
No, I'm just like I said earlier. It depends on what they saw at the scene. I mean, to be a murder suicide, the weapon have to be there. Although the weapon is there, that doesn't mean that it wasn't planted. That's why I say you have to wait for the forensic analysis because if it's a murder suicide, you got to one body fall one way. You go an angle. Is there any gunpowder residue on the hand of the trigger and things like that? So they probably looked at the scene and said, "Yep, murder suicide," but that's a preliminary analysis. That's not the final analysis. So I'm just saying they seen something, saw it, and they seen it 1,000 times, especially GBI. You know, that's the Bureau of Investigations in Georgia. So,
Yeah,
it's not like a local police.
Yeah, I got you. I got you, Matt Professor. My question here is this: usually they wait a while though. They wait at least more than two to 3 days until the autopsy comes back and they ran all the tests that they need to run. But it was within 2 days. So don't you see that kind of peculiar in your eyes?
I mean, it can be seen as peculiar that they were quick that they wanted to quickly get a preliminary preliminary guess out. But again, sometimes looking at a certain at things a certain way will make you think about, oh, maybe this is what happened or maybe that's what happened. And unfortunately, it doesn't always become the final answer, but
Yeah,
it does become the quick answer because in a lot of instances you'll see where people will be upset because they didn't get an answer right
yeah,
away when
that is true.
when
That's true.
when bodies were found. So they want to give something quickly, and then if they got to go back and hi,
So
Miss
Nora,
Nora, if
Hey,
they got to
Nora.
go back and correct it, then that's what they'll do.
Yeah, and
that is true.
also, the police could be saying it, just to, throw off the people who actually did, if it was a homicide, who actually did the homicide, making them think, oh, okay, we in the clear, and they're looking at something or investigating something. But like I said, we will never know until once the final investigation comes out, the final
Yeah, yeah,
report of the investigation
yeah.
comes out.
Yeah, Miss Paula, your thoughts? Do you think that the police they might have jumped the gun by labeling a murder suicide before the final results actually came in?
Again, I'm with the mad professor because, as he said, you never. People are always rushing to get the answer, especially family members when things happen, and they give it to you depending on what they have seen on the scene before they actually do intense investigation. They're gonna tell you with what they found. So, and as a person who watches a lot of CSI and white collar and all that bullshit. I know
Oh
things
Lord.
things always constantly change. They give you an answer
Mm,
just to
mm,
shut up the
mm.
press and the people who are constantly while they take their time to do the investigation. But I mean, there's no. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't.
Basically,
Paula,
what you're saying
she
is
ain't in the stratosphere. She in
no, no.
our ionosphere.
I guess what you're saying is we will never know till the truth actually
Mhm.
comes out because the police is
And is
telling one
it
side.
really the truth, or is
That
it
and that's what I'm saying
exactly?
because the police is telling their story and then the family members telling their story and hopefully what they say is what there's always 3 sides to a story: my
Yeah.
truth, your
Yep.
truth, and the actual truth. So we
Hmm.
we would we hopefully we will get a definite
and
answer what
and
happened.
that's always the problem when it happens like this is that
Mhm.
without someone coming out definitive that was there and definitively give an answer, everybody gives the side that makes them look best.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and the sad part about it is that they said they still had the tickets in their wallets when they're supposed to fly out because when they missed their
Mhm.
flight, the family members knew something was wrong, and then to be fined by some hikers. But I think this
Wait,
was
can I ask a question? You
go
said
ahead.
because I haven't really been following it as much because I'm over the news, so I don't
Okay.
really like it's too much. But when you say they found the tickets in them, people who fly these days normally have like like a boarding pass on their wallet. Like it's not like back in the days where people print tickets. So what kind of tickets did they find on them?
But most people you like. Well, I'm old. I like my ticket in my hand. but
Yeah,
most
but
people
we're
see.
talking about young kids.
Yeah.
So
But
you're
that is
old. You
true.
say
But
as
that
you
is true
say
though.
you are
Mhm.
old. We're not
Yeah.
talking about the old people right now.
All right, Miss
Yep.
Paul, let me push your ass
Old.
down. It's been a while since you've been on the show. I
She
still push your ass
no,
down.
she cracked.
But
But you didn't hear what she said in the beginning. She said, because I'm older than you. I was like,
yeah.
ooh.
I guess what I'm saying is, because this is what the police report put out that when they was found, they found that they had physical tickets. So they had physical tickets and it was still on their person in their wallets. But and that is the crazy part as well, to be found on a hiking trail, like the family members say that they never visit there. But like you and everybody else said on this panel, we don't know if they ever been there or not. We don't know what a person may
Exactly.
be going through during that time frame. But it
Because how
just
many
look
kids tell their family members what they're doing? Like
that's right.
legit. And
That's
but
true.
but this also comes back to I don't fucking. This is why I don't fucking going hiking. And even in dating apps, if you ask me for a hike, I know you're about to kill me because people die in hiking.
Yeah, but I guess what made this case even more stranger is because of this. Hold on, make sure I get it.
Although police suspect the brothers died in a murder-suicide by gunshot wound, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation has confirmed the arrest of former Towns County volunteer firefighter Scott Curlin, 42 years of age, in connection to the case. It gets even more interesting. According to the reports, the firefighter was fired on March 14th after he allegedly violated department protocol. Towns County Commission Cliff Bradshaw told 11 Alive. Curlin has not been charged directly in the deaths of the brothers, but he was hit with misdemeanor obstruction for allegedly snapping photos of the twins' dead bodies and then leaking those photos to the public, according to the GBI. The GBI's medical examiner has not shared the complete autopsy reports to the public yet, according to a spokesperson. Additional forensic tests are still pending. The family, however, continues to dispute the murder-suicide ruling, saying the twins would never hurt each other.
And I think that what made it even worse. We lost Miss Paula there, but hopefully she'll be back. But Matt Professor, you hear that though. That's why I think make the case even worse. These people are going through probably the worst time of their life. It's a tragedy when you lose one family member, but you lose two basically on the same day, round about the same time, is even worse. But then you have somebody like this will take pictures of their loved ones and then put it out to the press. And I think that what threw me off a little bit. Matt Professor, your thoughts?
Well, the only thing I say about that is there were deputies who took pictures of Gianna and Kobe Bryant's bodies and released them to the press before everyone knew what was going on. And this might have just been somebody, clout chasing, as everybody does. He made, and the sad thing, now the thing is, they didn't say whether or not he was one of the first people to see the body after the hikers had found him or not, which is something that I'd want to know before I say he had anything to do with it. That's why, as of right now, he can only be charged with obstruction because he released photos of dead bodies to the public, which is something that's not legal. In most cases.
Yeah, in most cases. But then again, like I say, conspiracy brothers not on.
Yeah.
See, that's part of the conspiracy. I could get the conspiracy now because they're trying to basically cover something up. But so Tim Dog, your thoughts, man, when you hear that this guy, he was an ex-fireman because they fired him.
Yeah, I know I hate being the voice of reason on here.
Yeah, I know. When you see the firemen or the policemen, these are the people that we put our trust in that's supposed to do the right thing. But you see somebody like this, like Spike Lee say, do the wrong thing. It makes you wonder sometimes they might be in collusion, trying to spin a collusion or collusion, well, one of them, just try to spin a narrative the way that they want it to be spent. Your thoughts, Tim Dog?
I'm thinking this man just got fired. He come across something that he thought, not rationalizing, thinking about it beforehand, because most dumb criminals, they don't think long term, they think short term of him trying to make some money. And it backfired.
Okay, no, Tim Dell, I would say that no, he got fired because he released the pictures. Because he wasn't already fired.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah.
But even still, I mean, I don't think he has anything to do with it. He stumbled upon them and saw an opportunity. As sad as it is and as sick as it sounds, I mean, to me, that's what it seemed like. Because if it was anything else, they would have said, oh, he's a person of interest. We recovered some things or something like that, other than just some photos.
Yeah.
And just, he did the wrong thing where the hikers did the right thing.
Yeah.
Hikers called the police. He took some pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's what it is.
You're right, because the hikers could have did, because everybody's traveling with the cell phones right now. Mm-hmm. Everybody, and Tim, you made a great point. I didn't even thought about that. They could have did something. They could have took some pictures for, some people are into that gory-ish. I hate to say that, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And you stumble upon something like that, especially you going hiking. I'm like Miss Nora and Miss Paula. I ain't hiking either. I didn't like hiking in the army. So so hey, truth be told, but it just kind of curious that this came out. But it does put the police in a bad light, man, Professor. If this guy could leak these type of pictures, I know they can't control everything, but that scene should have been locked down from the beginning once they got on the scene. Shouldn't have been.
Well, that's why I brought it up, that we don't know what the timeline is when he took pictures and released them compared to when the hikers found the bodies and called the police. Now, if he was there before it was reported that these guys were missing and that they were before that they were reported missing and found by the hikers, then yeah, he should be charged with a whole lot more than obstruction of justice. He should be considered a person of interest.
Person of interest.
Yeah.
So you know, like I said, this story is so it's so out there. I don't like commenting on it because I don't like giving my own. I give my own thoughts on it, but I don't like trying to guess what actually happened and when it all happened.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of struggling to answer the question, because I don't want to say, yeah, this guy. I don't want to come out right and say, like some people will be like, yeah, he killed him. Yeah, he knew he had something to do with it. When
you know what I think, man, Professor, I agree with you on that. You know, these are just our opinion because we are now we're doing our analysis of what we heard or basically what we seen on the news. It's not like we was there. If we was there, we become person of interest.
Right.
What were you doing on that trail? But
I only live in Louisiana.
Yeah. But these, I guess these are just our analysis because of the way that the media and police department, when they put out their statements, it just seems kind of odd to me. I don't know if does you see it the same way that I see it, Tim Dog, or we all in agreement, just like Matt Professor said.
Oh, I agree with Matt Professor. I mean, right now we're just speculating. You know, we don't have all the evidence, all of the information, and we're making judgments based on what we see and our own personal opinion. So.
Okay, for that, Miss Joy. You try to move to Utah?
I am.
Go
for a nice hike in Utah.
No. I mean, and until the coroner's report and the forensic report comes out, we really won't know. So right now we're just speculating and trying to make sense of what's being said compared to what the family is saying about the kids. But you never know about these kids. I mean, if they were that tight and that close, trust me, twins will keep things from family. I've watched shows where the Killer Twins or something like that on ID. Come on now.
Yeah.
There's some twins, they like that. But I'm not saying that these two are, but I'm just saying you never know.
Yeah, and I think I can't speak for all of us, but I think we in the same vein. I think we want the family to have closure. We want the family to get the actual truth, not just something that's out there that they're going to think about to the day they probably leave this earth. Because they not lost one, they lost two, and they did start a GoFundMe because nobody prepares for a child to die. Nobody. I hate to say, family members do have insurance, but two at the same time, and but I'm gonna get this comment.
And that young.
And that young.
I've been to Utah, man. It's nice. Look, Mormons stated themselves, Carl. Trust me, they do.
I got you. Well, Miss Jordan not gonna let you get another wife anyway, because that's what the Mormons do. But
now, why are you gonna blow my game like that? Why are you
trying to be a Mormon?
Like that. There are some things that they do I agree with. What are you talking about? What you doing?
I got you. But Matt Professor, I'm gonna come back to you, and I want you to answer this question because and I'm going back to with the police going out and saying it was a murder-suicide. My question to you is, do you believe that some homicides are covered differently than others? Being that these two black brothers, but let's just say these was two white Caucasian brothers. Do you think they'd have been so quick to say that it was a murder-suicide?
But that's an oxymoron, Caucasian.
No, I'm just saying I'm just saying. I'm just saying hypothetical.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, because of the way they cover certain deaths, if it were two white guys, let's play the hypothetical game if we're really going to go there.
Yeah.
Normally they'll just say that the two of them were the victims of some sort of what's the word they use? Tragic circumstance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they were the victims of a heinous crime by some unknown assailant until they were proven different. So I mean, in this instance, they're trying to play that there's a victim and a perpetrator. So to cover the bases.
Yeah, I got you. And that's the only reason I asked the question, man, Professor Tim. I'm gonna get your answer as well. It's because of the way that they make it seem. It leaves that. It's just the fact that it came out so quick to say it was a murder suicide without even any type of investigation. I know that you got seasoned veterans out there that can look at things like this. Yeah, this is what it is. But let's do the autopsy. Let's do the gun residue test. Let's do all these things. Like you say, Tim Dog, I haven't heard anything saying that they found a gun on the scene. Nobody said that. But that's what I'm saying. But to come out 2 days later, that what makes me wonder. How come they're so quick to do this to people of color than people that looks like them? Tim Dog, your thoughts?
Well, I would give some credibility to this answer only because it's the GBI and not the local law enforcement or the local sheriff. And GBI is in charge of the entire state. They're like the FBI of the state when it comes to, investigating. So I commend the local people for calling them because they probably saw something and they couldn't handle it. They don't have the necessary what's the word I'm looking for?
The necessary equipment, not equipment, but manpower.
Personnel
Have
too.
necessary manpower.
There you go. To cover this, so GBI comes in, and that's why I say, it's either one or two reasons why they're saying it. One, it's the truth, or two, they're hiding the truth, and they want the people who actually did it think that everything is all right. Nobody knows about them.
That they got away with something.
Yeah, that they got away with something. So that's why I say, we have to wait. And I'm with Mad Professor. All we doing is just speculating and projecting and giving our own personal opinion about it.
Yeah. And, you correct in what you're saying, Tim Dog. I think we basically saying the same thing as well. We just want the family members to get some type of closure because, like I said earlier, you never prepare for one death, but for two loved ones, they came in the world basically together, and then they left the world basically together.
But I know what you're saying. I'm sorry, man.
Go ahead, Tim Dog. Go ahead.
No, but I know what you're saying. All of these coincidences and circumstantial stuff, because we're so used to being marginalized when it comes to murders like this. We're so used to being brushed to the side as not important enough to investigate. So by the GBI being in there, that's why I say this is something that's real serious, because GBI is like major crimes, like I said, in the state. So that right there tells me that it's going to be taken care of properly, because it's not local, it's state.
Yeah. And that's why I say that, before we move on, we just want the family to get closure, and, it's just a sad situation. And of course, Ms. Paula, you talk about this all the time on your podcast. If you're dealing with something, call somebody, talk to somebody, because mental health is a big thing. Not saying that these brothers going through something mental health wise, I don't know. But, if you know that you're going through something, you're traumatized or you depressed or whatever, reach out to somebody before something like this happens. Ms. Paula, can you speak on that if you can? Because I know that's your lane, because you deal with mental health a lot. Go ahead, Ms. Paula. You muted, Ms. Paula.
Sorry, I feel like.
Can I ask you this, Ms. Paula? You have done a podcast before, right?
No, nice. This is
sure.
my first time. Like, oh my
Just making sure.
God.
I got
She
you. I
can't
got
see the mute button.
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
boy.
I know your platform, you basically talk a lot about mental health. And, you know, with people when they're going through things. When you hear something like this, we don't know what these young men or may have been going through or may not been going through. So I want you to just speak about a little bit on mental health if you can.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, people take mental health as like a disease or something to be very shameful about. But whether you know it or not, we are all dealing with mental health. It just takes a certain situation for people to realize what their mental instability is. But one thing I learned, and I posted this a few weeks ago on Facebook, was when I was at Podfest and the bombshells I was getting from people, and I realized that you can create a safe space, but people only feel safe with certain people.
Yes.
Right? Because I met people and I was talking to them on the phone or whatever, and I hadn't seen in a while. And as soon as they saw me, they were breaking down and telling me shit. And I'm like, I'm just here to have my drink and have fun. In my head, I'm like, why are you telling me all this shit? And they're like, you're the first person I finally told to. And it's heavy, but it's just understanding that however some people feel like they've created a safe space, there's still people who don't feel safe in those environments. So people are holding on too much inside. And sometimes, and that's why I think it's good to speak on it, because sometimes it comes out at the wrong time or with the wrong people. Because a breakdown is a breakdown, and eventually your mind gets tired of storing shit, or your heart gets tired of feeling shit, and you might get lucky and do it around people who actually want to hear you or want to support you, or sometimes you do it in an environment where they don't, and then you don't get the support. So I'm always gonna say that.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm always gonna say that one of the best ways to avoid anxiety or depression is, I don't care if it's family or friends, fuck everybody else and be around the people who really give a fuck about you. Like, I hate this thing. Oh, I've known them for 10 years, 20 years. I don't give a fuck. I've known my dad since birth, and if it's gonna be, I'm sorry, you gotta go. I'm just saying what it is. Like,
I got you.
The time limits and everything doesn't matter. Fine. People who make you feel safe, where you can have conversation and just talk. That's one way of avoiding depression and mental and anxiety and everything.
Yeah, that is true. And you know, I think we talked about this before we move on. You know, there's also, you know, shout out to my therapist. Well, not my therapist, my homegirl who is a therapist, Miss Coco.
Man, go ahead. Just go ahead.
Are you
There's no shame in it, dog. There's no shame in it, dog. Just go ahead and say it, bro.
No, but what I'm about to say is, that there's actually people out there. There's actually people out there that you can actually talk to. You can pay to talk to somebody if you know that you're going through something, or just like Ms. Paula said, if you feel comfortable with somebody that you want to share, and hopefully they will give you some positive reinforcement. You know, you don't want somebody to agree with you with everything that you say. That, you know, at least you got somebody to actually tell you the truth, because we all know somebody that tell you every damn thing. But fellas and women, now that Miss Paula's on the show, hey, I know y'all saw the text, and y'all probably wondering what the hell the man on the street is talking about. And I want us to, you want to be talking about the apology effect and restoring relationships. Now,
actually, that's the only reason I came on this episode today.
Okay, yeah, because I'm gonna play 2 videos. Because y'all
motherfuckers owe me apology, but we're gonna get to that.
Yeah. But this is the reason why, and I kind of gave it away because it has something to do with Jay-Z and Beyonce, and it has something to do with somebody else. No, because I want to get y'all opinion on apology effect and restoring relationships. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, and we're gonna talk about Kanye West on the first part. Then we're gonna come back and talk about the person on the second part. Here it is, right here.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
So your boy Kanye is at it again. He has officially reached a point of no return. He's taken aim at Jay-Z and Beyonce's two youngest children, Rumi and Sir Carter, calling them the R word. He also went on a rant about artificial insemination being a blessing, claiming that having children who are the R word is a choice. And then he doubled down, stating that he only deleted the tweet to avoid having his Twitter account deleted, not because he regrets it and he's a good person. And speaking on rants, we're also going to dive in Monique's latest tirade against Tyler Perry. She's calling him out over remarks he made at Angie Stone's homegoing service, expressing his anger about how Angie was mistreated in the music industry. And Monique is asking, why are you upset about Angie's mistreatment and not mine? Where's my apology, Tyler Perry?
Now, see what I'm saying? So we're gonna take the Kanye part first.
That bitch.
I know you do, but we're gonna take the Kanye part first. And my question to you, Ms. Paul, is this: you know, they're supposed to they were friends, but when do you think that Kanye West owes Beyonce and Jay-Z an apology, basically for calling their kids the R word?
Fuck yeah.
Go ahead,
You
elaborate a little more.
You can be talking about nigga like Kanye West has been talking about Beyonce and Jay-Z for the longest, and they haven't responded. 1 minute is on their side, the next minute is talking shit, the next minute, like, nigga is a flip-flopper. And I love Kanye, like, but a flip-flopper in a friendship is a no-no. You have issues, deal with it. You have their phone number, but you want to come on the Twitter and do your Twitter shit and then include the kids. What do the kids have shit to do with anything? If you think the kids are retarded, then tell them. Why do you need to tell the world? My nigga, after that, I ain't talking to you. Like, you have already done enough, Kanye. But once you call my kids retard on the internet, on this Beyonce, people call it the Beyonce internet. I do not agree. But I'm sorry, no. There's certain situations where an apology does not fix shit. Like, thank you. Maybe people forced you, just like the reason you deleted the tweet. It's not because he wanted to delete the tweet, but because he said he deleted the tweet not to whatever reasons it is. So it's not like you're even remorse. So your apology doesn't even really matter at this point.
Yeah, and that's why the question that I asked Mad Professor is this. Because you know, sooner or later, once he comes back to his common sense, the apology effects. Would you think that he'd be able to restore that relationship being what it is or what it was, but they remembering what he actually said about their children? Your thoughts, Mad Professor?
Well, see, I'm the non-forgiving type, and I'm extremely petty.
I know that. Like, I can see it.
We all know that.
So you know, once you burn the bridge with me, I ain't rebuilding a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
What was it on Better Than Sex months ago, right before the holidays? I said you have family members that you don't fuck with, and this is the time of year where you tell them you still not fucking with them.
Yeah,
that's me in a nutshell.
Don't fuck with them, exactly.
That's me in a nutshell. I mean, if you burn your bridge with me more than once, I'm through. I mean, I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna put out the last little ember right before it gets to my feet. But if you do it again, we ask my dad. Oh, I'm sorry, he's dead. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you, the thing about Kanye is
nigga forgot his dad is dead.
He does born for that.
Kanye does shit to get his name out when people stop talking about him, and I think we talked about that before. Yeah. He's an attention whore, which is why he dresses his wife like that when they go
very
out.
Strategic. Like,
so you know, I mean, him just coming out to say stuff is because nobody's been talking about him since he said he's a Nazi a couple months ago.
Oh, he's about to drop a project that he wants people to exactly.
So nobody should even take Kanye seriously anymore.
Yeah, but to Tim Dog, just like what Miss Paula said though, if it's just me and you going back and forth, it's cool. I could take the heat. But my kids ain't got nothing to do with it. And I know how you feel about your son and your grandkids. So to hear something like that, you think that even though he might come back and say, I apologize, do you think that they will ever have a type of relationship? Or are you like the Mad Professor? When I see you, it's on sight.
The way Tim loves his grandson.
Yeah.
Hey, that's right, Jules. No, but to me, Beyonce and Jay-Z, they already know how he is. They know he bipolar. He ain't on his medication, and he just spiraling out of control.
But
Because
that's
if it was real,
excuse. I'm sorry.
no,
That's just
hold
a
on,
motherfucking excuse.
hold on now. Because if it really bothered Jay-Z, he would retaliate. He would destroy Kanye, put out a diss record or whatever. But they
He not
already
that good
know
of a
how
rapper.
he is.
No, but that's the thing. Putting
I
a
didn't
diss,
I
a
didn't
diss
say he was good at it or not. I just said
Wait,
put it out. That's
wait.
what I said.
Putting on a diss record or retaliating is giving
What I'm
Kanye
saying
exactly
is
what he
he's
wants,
not
attention.
Right.
no, but he's not doing anything. And
Cause
that's the best thing.
clearly,
Sometimes we
cause
don't know
clearly,
because some hold on, Paula, I didn't interrupt
wait,
you.
shut up. Cause
Yeah,
You know
clearly,
you
Pop,
clearly
let her get the thoughts out. Then we come back to Miss
cause
Paula. Go ahead,
clearly,
Tim Dog.
he ain't just saying his phone calls. That's why.
Miss Paula done came back and take over the damn show. Tim Dog, finish
I'm
your
back,
thought, man.
motherfuckers.
Go ahead, Tim Dog,
all
finish your
I'm
thought,
saying
man.
is Jay-Z, he ain't worried about it because they already know how he is. And
Yeah.
after this, maybe he'll come back and apologize on social media. Oh, I'm sorry. But like Paula said, and like Mad Professor said, who gives a fuck? Everybody know he crazy. So
But you
take it
know,
with a grain of salt.
Miss Paula, I think you brought up a good point. I think it's us that's saying that he's crazy. When are we gonna stop using that excuse? Because we giving him a pass. Basically, that's what we're doing. We giving him a pass.
988.
Yeah. Basically, Kanye, he could come out and he say this, or he could say that, and then of course, I could always go back and apologize, and that's why I say, that's why I call it the apology effect, and restoring relationship, because I'm going to apologize to you in hopes of us rebuilding our relationship. But I think with Kanye West in this situation, he went too goddamn far, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, a lot of people say that, well, he started acting crazy when his mother died. Well, his mother died about 2005.
That's about to say it's been 20 years.
Yeah,
now.
about 20 years. So we can't be using that same excuse
Nigga got
anymore.
married and had 4 kids.
Yeah. We can't be
He
using
taking
that
his
excuse
medication.
anymore. We can't be using that excuse anymore about, hey, his mother's died and he's crazy. And then, like you say, Tim, though, I'm gonna come back and apologize and try to rebuild this relationship. But once you talk about a man's kids or a woman's kids, I think all gloves are off. If I'm wrong, Miss Paula, tell me I'm wrong.
Well, one thing about me, and as we talked about it before, I'm big on mental health, but I've also seen that people use mental health as an excuse. Oh, people do
That's
shit
right,
and
Joe.
then later come and cry mental health. Oh, I'm this, I'm this. Fuck that shit. Like, let's be real. If you're not getting help and you're constantly crying mental health, then no, nigga, it's no longer mental health. It's you. Because at least if I see you getting help and doing shit to do that, I can at least sympathize. But every once in a while, and because it's Kanye, people say, well, it's Kanye. Okay, we get it. It's Kanye, but who the fuck is Kanye? He ain't God. So, and I'm a person who, I don't have kids. But my friends know they can say whatever the fuck they want to say about me, and I might not fight, I might not retaliate. But once you bring my daddy, you can talk even about my mom. Sorry, but it is what it is. But when it comes to my daddy and you start talking shit, bro, we're fighting.
Yeah,
That's my dad.
Yeah.
Put some respect on
Listen,
that.
but
I don't care
can I
what
ask you
you
a question?
know.
Can I ask you this question then? So let's say somebody say something about your father, right? And y'all have a falling out, but then again, they come back later and apologize. Would you feel as though that their apology is sincere, or are they just trying to get back into your good grace?
Again, it depends on how the apology comes, because every apology comes different.
Okay.
If you're apologizing just for the sake to get, because I am a very intuitive person, and I know when apology is coming the right way, or an apology is coming because I just want some shit from you, depending on, So I get it, but also it also depends on our history and what you said. I can accept an apology, but that doesn't mean I'm forgetting. Oh, we're gonna be buddy again. Like, I'll just take the apology to be cordial, but I'm calling you for shit. I don't care about what happens to you. Like, we're just cordial because maybe we are in the same communities, or maybe we got, so it all depends. But no,
I got you. I got you.
Hey,
Matt
hey, hey,
Professor.
hey,
And there's
Paula.
some people who
But
come
you
with
and
a
I, we
sincere
good though, right?
apology.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, Tim.
you and I,
Yeah.
we good though,
And
right?
no, we
Huh?
gotta
Huh?
square it outside, motherfucker.
Yeah. Matt Professor, what I want you to do is I want you to elaborate on something that our partner Joe says. Some folks understand that if you don't pour gas on a dying fire, it will fizzle out by itself. Jay and Bay is too rich to go tit for tat.
Exactly.
Do you agree with what
Well,
Joe said?
that's what I said.
Yep.
If I put out the last ember of that burning fire, I let it go. You better not give me another reason to reignite that some bitch. And as far as going, Beyonce and Jay-Z are too wealthy to be going tit for tat with Kanye. Well, you're never too wealthy to go tit for tat, but what you do when you go tit for tat with somebody is give them credence to whatever it is, whatever the hell it is they said. You give them reason to keep going and keep on adding fuel to the fire. So you don't say a damn. It's just like when the allegations about Jay-Z came out a couple months ago. He didn't say a damn word, and they were found out to be false.
Yeah.
So
Now
you don't give credence to people like Kanye West because again, all he wants is his name out.
Yeah.
And to add on that, like if you have noticed, Beyonce never speaks about anything. Back in the days, Rihanna used to argue with people, and she kind of stopped because she realized she's just adding shit. Beyonce keeps quiet. People argue for Beyonce, but she never comes out and says, "This is right, this is wrong. I'm gonna fight for you."
Michelle
and I think maybe
Obama.
that's why Kanye always goes for them, because he's really trying to get them to say some shit. But these people are like, we're blind to you, motherfucker. Like, we don't care. Like, we are on our own place. And that's who I am these days as well. Because sometimes you look in the comments when people say some shit and you really want to go in and you're like, my peace is more important than this person. Because if I go in, we're just going to be going back and forth and you're giving more attention to that motherfucker who doesn't even deserve it. So let it go. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, so Tim Dog, you agree with Miss Paula? You think that Bay and Jay-Z should just let this go and let Kanye be Kanye, or you let me and the Math Professor, we gonna get dirty together? I hate to say, I'm going.
Oh, they might come back and file.
That's how I get down.
I said it earlier, Jay. They leave it alone because he could put out a diss record. Not to say that he's a good rapper.
It's going to be good, Math Professor. Like,
just saying.
Putting that disclaimer in. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If he really wanted to do something, he could. Yeah. And you don't hear anything from them too. And like Miss Paula P said, Beyonce, she's calm, cool, and collected. She's like Michelle Obama. She don't let none of that shit bother her. But she gets her word in other ways. Maybe it's a song or some sarcastic remark or whatever it may be. But she's not going to, indignate herself by doing something out of the ordinary, saying something out of the ordinary. And Jay-Z, even though he may be one of the richest people in the world, but once again, he doesn't have to prove anything for people to see how Kanye really is, because Kanye doing a good damn job of it by himself. So 988 Kanye, 988.
And I agree with y'all on that point. My point is that it seems as though that every time Kanye, like you say, Matt Professor, I think Miss Paula said that as well, and you, Tim Dog, every time a project or some nonsense, when he put out the Nazi shirt or whatever, he always tried to flip it another way to keep his name out there, especially with his wife out there. She looked just like his ex-wife, and he got her looking crazy out there. But it just comes to a point where we have to, Matt Professor, I think you said this before, we just need to ignore him. And once we ignore him and he doesn't get the publicity that he wants, I think he will go away until he finds something else.
What's up, Juan?
Crazy to do. What up, Juan? What up? Yeah,
Kanye's like a cold sore. It comes up, it irritates you, but it eventually goes away.
He's a funny nigga, but can I also say he's not making his wife do anything. She's a grown-ass motherfucking woman. She's doing what the fuck she wants to do. Let's not put that.
Yeah, that is true too. But I think he got mind control over her. But
but that's our problem. But I feel like eventually, like And I think because Kanye knows we are gonna say, oh,
I think
Kanye
so.
is crazy.
Yeah.
This is just Kanye. Let Kanye be Kanye. That's why he constantly does this bullshit. And people feed into that. He's doing exactly what he wants people to do. Feed into that, have conversations about that, research about that. When the people, they and Beyonce are probably in an island somewhere sipping their beautiful life away, not giving a fuck about what Kanye is talking about.
A problem in that $500 million house they bought down in California. And that's why I say that this is why I want to call it. That's why I'm gonna say that the apology affecting restoring relationships because of the fact that hey, we think that Kanye is crazy and Jay-Z know him and Beyonce, yeah, he's crazy, but he's hopefully one day he'll come back and apologize. I don't think that relationship will ever be the same. But on the second hand of the video, we're gonna talk about my man, Matt Professor favorite girl, Miss Monique.
Hold on. I'm sorry, Matt Professor, a man on the street. I just want to say one thing that we didn't talk about. Old girl and her obsession with Tyler Perry.
If you was listening, he just said we about to get to that.
To talk about it, yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
Damn.
I do apologize.
Time to rebuild the relationship.
No. I apologize only because
I got you, Tip Dog.
Shit pissed me off, man.
Yeah. That's why I say, Tip Dog. I say we about to move on to the second part of the video.
Okay.
Miss Monique.
Okay.
And why she got and why she got upset. She got upset.
That's why you got ears.
Girl back.
Yeah. And, you know, in the second part of the video about Miss Monique, and this is kind of a long video because she got upset because Tyler Perry actually spoke at Angie
Stone.
Angie Stone funeral, and she said this, and she took offense because of what Tyler Perry said about Angie Stone.
I did not know all the things that she was going through. Recently, I found out because I'm not on Instagram. I'm not being hooked and manipulated by an algorithm telling me what to think and how to feel. So I don't see everything. But to think that this woman was in the business for all of these years, and there's a difference between performing because you want to and performing because you have to. All of those years, all of those songs, all of that money that was owed to her, where is it? It's wrong. It is wrong. And I'm tired of seeing us struggle and go through things and work hard and not reap the benefits of what we were supposed to reap. But you got to be careful when you start mistreating people, especially children of God, because the Bible says, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. And I'm going to tell you something. This woman was a prophet. She prophesied and preached her own eulogy. What am I talking about? In her song, No More Rain in This Cloud, she says, my sunshine has come. And I'm all cried out. There's no more rain in this cloud. And many of you may not know this, but I'm a pilot. And when you are a pilot, the first thing you study is the weather. And I learned about clouds. And what a cloud is particles, air and particles. And when the rain gets in that cloud and the particles get too heavy, it becomes to rain. It drops to the ground. It falls. It is just like our souls. We hold so much in. We hold so much pain. We hold so much that it has to come out of our eyes as tears. But the beauty of what she was talking about is when a cloud has no more tears, it dissipates. It's gone. But if you listen to that song again, there's a part that I want you to really, really listen to. She said, what goes around comes around.
And that is the part that Miss Monique had an issue with. And I'm gonna play this other video so y'all can get a full understanding, because Miss Monique, she actually put out a letter to Tyler Perry, and this guy, he's actually gonna read it.
Open letter to Tyler Perry. We would like to give our heartfelt condolences to Angie Stone's family, friends, Sister Angie, we stand on the shoulders of the elders and ancestors like you, so please know that your fight inspired us to write this letter, and that fight doesn't end with your passing, as it is only beginning. Dr. Tyler Perry, I recently watched your heartfelt speech at Angie Stone's funeral, where you expressed frustration over her mistreatment by the music industry. It struck me and my husband Sydney as poignant, but also made us reflect on some unsettling discrepancies in your actions towards me. One, you expressed anger over Angie's mistreatment, yet you labeled me difficult to work with despite never having worked with me. How can you condemn poor treatment of others when you've imposed the same on me? We have audio of you admitting you were wrong. Two, you asked where's the money she's owed. Well, where's my public apology that you promised me in 2016? The false narrative you perpetuated helped blackball me, costing me tons of millions. Where's the restitution for that? 3, you mentioned being tired of us not receiving the benefits we deserve, yet you asked me to promote Precious for free without a contract or compensation, which highlights your double standard. 4, you said we should be careful in how we treat children of God. As a man of faith, where is your responsibility to act with love and truth? You promised me an apology years ago, but it's yet to come. Unlike the music industry, which you rightly criticize, we have audio documentation of your actions. Shouldn't you be held accountable too? In closing, I hope your words at Angie's funeral inspire you to correct the wrongs done to my family and me. You have the power to do so as you've shared biblical teachings. Please remember, what will it profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul? Mark 8:36. We await your response with love and respect. Monique and Sydney.
Now, you heard what Tyler Perry said. Then you heard what Miss Monique, she wrote a letter. So, Matt Professor, defend your girl.
Joy didn't say nothing.
Thank you, Matt Professor. Can I say this, Matt Professor? Can I say this, Matt Professor, before you go into it? Was that the appropriate time to come out with your complaint with Tyler Perry? After he said what he said at Angie Stone's
I was going to complain about what Tyler said after his eulogy. I didn't like him using the pulpit as a place to bring up the money that Angie felt that she was owed. I didn't care for that at all.
I got you.
If you were going to talk about it, just talk about what she meant in your life the way people normally do at a eulogy.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
To use her death as that platform to talk about the money she was owed, to me, was wrong to begin with.
I got you.
And the dude that read Monique's response and letter, his pronunciation fucked me all up. I could barely pay attention.
Man, he's from the hood.
It's poignant, not poignant. Okay. Anyway, I digress. But Monique, babe, nobody gives a damn about you. Okay. I mean, and I hate to say this. She's a Kanye. She has to put her thumb in every damn thing that's going on when no one's actually giving a damn about her. And yeah, you say Tyler Perry wronged you. Okay, that's all well and good. You said it once, you said it twice, you said it a dozen times. It's a fucking enough, boo-boo. You're not gonna get the apology. You're not gonna get the apology you think you deserved or that you claim he says he owes you. You're not gonna get it. Baby, let it go. Just let that shit go now. Because guess what? Tyler Perry ain't thinking about you either. So let the shit go.
Yeah. And you know and that's the funny part. You know, Matt Professor, I never took what you said about him talking about that. That never crossed my mind. I'm glad you said that, because there's a time that how's the old saying? There's a time and a place for everything. Yeah, maybe this is not the time to talk about that. You know, you talk about her legacy, the impact that she made in the music business. Talk about her impact, her being one of the first female hip hop pioneers in the music business, and that is the time. And then, like you say, if you're with I guess his platform that he has, he can put out a documentary and talk about, hey, let's find the money that she's owed for whatnot. But let's go, Tim Dog. You want to talk about your girl Monique, because she's from Baltimore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your girl, she's from Baltimore. That's your girl. Y'all should date, right?
No. Fuck that fat ass, sad ass bitch.
But my question to you, Tim Dog, is
when
is Monique going to say to herself, and like the Math Professor said, I can get out there and harp all I want. Tyler Perry, he probably said an apology, but to the effect, I don't think that it was public enough So I want you basically to bend the knee and you know I've been watching goddamn Game of Thrones too much. Yeah.
My show there.
Yeah. So my thing is, when is enough? Because I think Tyler Perry probably did apologize, but he didn't apologize the way that she wants him to apologize. But then again, to come out right after Angie Stone, it's like a backhanded slap. Yeah, Angie Stone, your life was good, but hey, Tyler, let's talk. It doesn't make sense to me. Tim Dog, your thoughts. Defend your girl, Tim Dog. Hey, don't tell me your wife's name like Math Professor. So defend your girl, Tim Dog.
Look, I always defend my wife.
I got you.
But this person right here, first of all, she's blaming the wrong person for her demise. She should be blaming herself. Because when she won that Oscar in Precious, her head got so big that she started rubbing people the wrong way. And it just so happened that Tyler Perry, who was her friend, did not defend her because she was in the wrong. And for that, she never forgave him. So that means for everything that he does, she's going to hate. She blackballed herself because of her princess attitude. Oh, I'm an Academy Award winner. I deserve this. I deserve that. No, bitch. What you deserve is what you get. You got one. That doesn't make you a princess. That just makes you a pawn. Until you get more, like Denzel. Do you get paid like Denzel? Denzel got he only got one Academy Award. No, you ain't paid like Denzel. So shut the fuck up, play your role, and stop getting a big ass head.
And Ms. Paula, before I ask you this question, it's odd because she went back 2016 and she did a whole comedy special, I think, on Netflix, where she basically cussed out Oprah. She cussed out Tyler Perry. What's my man?
But I'm sorry, man on the street. I do apologize. Apologize. And that's what kills me. She is blaming all these black producers, actors, and people of influence because of what she's done. Her attitude, her way of thinking that she deserves better. None of them, she's mad at them because none of them came to her rescue. None of them defended her. Why would you defend a person who has an attitude that they deserve everything that they get when they only deserve what they earn?
I got you.
I'm just saying.
Well, I guess in her mind, she thought that she earned a lot. And Miss Paula, I'm gonna ask you this question because I think that a lot of people. I think a lot of people do apologize, but maybe they didn't apologize in the way that she felt that she should have been apologized to. So, Ms. Paula, so in today's digital age, how has the way we apologize changed? Are online apologies as meaningful as face-to-face ones? So Tyler Perry might have apologized on the phone, but it wasn't face-to-face. And that's why I say that I think that she wants him to come, here I go again, bend the knee. And
go kiss her ass.
Your thoughts, Miss Paula.
In my defense, an apology is an apology, right? Again, it depends how the person is coming with the apology. If you cuss me out online, you shouldn't come to me offline to apologize. You should apologize online because you cussed me out online. If we cussed each other out offline, then by all means. But your apology should be as loud as your disrespect was. That's to me.
I like that.
Thank you.
I like that.
And then from there on, I don't feel like anybody should tell anybody how to fucking apologize. Either you take it or you don't take it. But if you're gonna preach on somebody on how they have to apologize to you, it's never gonna be a legit apology because you made them apologize in the way that you want it, not in the way they wanted to apologize. Yes. Again, I watch a lot of Real Housewives, and if you know those bitches are constantly apologizing, and apologies being accepted or unaccepted 24/7. And I've learned the power of apology through them. And that's why I say trash TV might be trash, but it has some lessons.
Yeah.
And I've also realized that you got the apology has to come with an action, not just
Yeah.
an apology. If
Yeah.
you want, again, this depends. If
Yeah.
you want the relationship to continue, the apology comes with an action. If
Yeah.
you don't care, you're just apologizing to be cordial. Why would I bring an action after my apology? Like, I'm just apologizing so we can be cordial in rooms that we all constantly in.
Yeah.
And as far as Monique's, I loved her from back in the days,
Yeah.
but again, as Tim said, I think the ego went over their head, and this is a Hollywood thing, right? You become successful, you get your ego, and the way she comes across, she does come across angry instead of in a way that she's really portraying what it is. And this is why you can see when Taraji spoke about the same issues Monique was saying, she
Yeah.
got
That is true.
support
Yeah.
compared to when Monique spoke about it because of how they decided to go about it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, you also gotta be a good person behind us, what you're showing us for people to rally behind you. You
Yeah.
might be saying the same shit, and that's why even when you go in the shade room or whatever, and people are saying things, and you're like, the message is right, but from the person who it's coming from, it don't make sense. Because if you're a shitty person and you're speaking because now shit has hit you, just like right now where we're watching the people who voted for the orange man are now
47.
getting the effects that they didn't think it was
Yeah.
gonna affect them.
That's
Why would
true.
I feel sorry for you when so it also has to be, you have to be a good person for me to also support by you. If all I'm hearing is you're a fucked up person to work with, you're a bitch or whatever, and then you're speaking about these things, I'm gonna question, is it really them or is it you
It's
of
really
who
you.
you are?
Yeah.
And
That
then
is
when
true.
somebody else comes to speak who they are, you normally don't hear shit about them. Or when you hear it's justified or anything, and then they're speaking about the issue, of course I'm gonna rally against you because I've never had that. So
Yeah.
it all
Yeah.
depends. And timing also matters, but also I feel like she went in because Tyra Perry opened the door with him speaking about the money part. So it
Yeah.
triggers again trauma. Trauma, it all comes back to mental health and trauma. Trauma triggers,
Yeah.
right? You might
Yeah.
not be, you might have already forgot about it, but then you see the person you hate speaking on
And it
something
comes
you
all back to him.
wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes back, and then
Come
you
back to you.
go AWOL, as they call it in the guy. You go
Yeah.
AWOL, like, oh fuck. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You're right. You're right. And Matt Professor, I want you to talk because Miss Joy made a great point. And I like what she said. She said that she's bitter and she probably has good reason to be, but take some responsibility. She did great impressions, but
Exactly.
everything else she just okay. And she flip-flopped when she was bigger when she lost weight. So Matt Professor, can you
Well,
elaborate on a little bit of that?
well, that's always been my one of my issues with Monique is
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna admit something. I've never actually seen the movie Precious because I don't
Me
I don't care
neither.
for those. I
You
don't care for
ain't even
those.
see Boys in the Hood, so we
I
we
don't I don't
understand.
I
Yeah.
don't
I
care. I
watched
mean,
Boys in the
Yeah.
Hood.
I read the
Precious is
book. I
good though.
didn't. I read the book.
Precious
I
is
didn't
good.
care. I didn't care for a movie
I
adaptation
I
of
got you.
it.
don't
I
like
got
sad, depressing movies.
So
I'm
you. Yeah.
sorry.
the problem I have with Monique is, and I'm glad Joy brought it up because it's something I've always brought up when I talk about Monique, is when she was the fat girl, she was the every woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She always said she wasn't a skinny bitch because she ate that bitch. You know, the
Yeah.
only reason skinny
And she
bitch in
had
is because she ate her.
confidence. She had
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. She was
confidence.
confident
When
in
she was the
everything she did.
comedian.
And the second she started losing weight, she did a 180 and was like, oh, fuck all you fat
She now
bitches.
Beyonce.
Now she the baddest bitch on the planet. And it went to her head. And that's why she couldn't accept
Mm-hmm.
the fact that, okay, Monique, and it's what I said about somebody from New Orleans. You black famous. You ain't white famous.
Yeah.
There's a complete difference in the money there. Okay.
Yeah.
Black people support you, but how many
Yes.
white people actually did? And that's
Yeah.
I
the thing
miss the
about Monique
fat
I've
bitch
always said.
Monique. I miss
That
the
Yeah.
that's
fat bitch
right,
Monique. I'm
right.
gonna.
And that's the thing about it. I was never a huge fan of hers, but I respected her because she always seemed genuine.
Yeah.
And like I said, being black famous will get you pretty far. You can be black famous for your entire career and enjoy a career of it. I mean, look at somebody like John Witherspoon.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah, John Witherspoon.
No, I wouldn't say Sammy Davis was white famous, but John Witherspoon was black famous.
What's the young lady that
This is why I go to white people podcasts, because I ain't trying to be a black famous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Harry Belafonte.
No,
Harry Belafonte.
No, Harry Belafonte was worldwide famous.
Right.
I know. I'm being facetious, man.
I got you, but like you say, John Witherspoon. What's the young lady that played his wife in Boomerang? But she's also in the movie. She was on Friday. She was in the last Friday, and she was talking about that as well. She basically said what you just said, Matt Professor. She said that she would go out for movie parts that were, let's say, white typecast, and she didn't fit in. So she learned to find her niche. And her niche was to be in black movies. And she said that she was comfortable in those roles because she could be herself. She's not playing somebody that she's not.
Joe?
And I think that's what a lot of people fail to realize is that we always want to get in those other circles. Don't get me wrong. You know, I would like to get into other circles, but if I could get
where you come from.
But that's what I'm saying. So you keep that same lane because you always going to have people that's going to support you. Just like Tyler Perry. A lot of people don't like the stuff that he puts out. They don't like the movies.
I'm one of them.
Like I said.
But Black Beauty is killing it. I'm sorry.
But what I'm saying is, for me, like I told y'all last week, I got to stop Tyler Perry because that goddamn Queens men. I got to stop that bullshit. I got to stop it. But
hey, he got another one coming out on Netflix.
But I was watching it earlier. But Tyler
Perry, he stayed in his lane until he stayed with his base until he got enough to where he could say, if I don't want to branch out, I don't have to.
I have to branch out.
And
that's
that's
what I'm
the
saying.
thing. And that's the thing Monique did not understand.
And he doesn't. He chooses projects he wants to do, and he does.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing Monique.
Man, you're all fucking terrible.
She
wanted that right and paid for it.
Amen.
She wanted to move from one spectrum to the next without paying. I'm not going to say without paying dues because she's paid her dues. She's been in Hollywood for 30 plus years, so she's paid her dues plenty. But the niche that you're in, it's not illegal to move to the next niche, but you can't force your way into it, which is what she tried to do with Netflix when she complained that all these unfunny white bitches like what Amy Schumer getting millions to do
money,
to get a Netflix special, and they barely offer me 10,000. Well, baby, that was your worth.
That's
okay.
That's right. That's right.
So I mean, Amy Schumer was worldwide when Amy Schumer for some reason set the world on fire when she did her Netflix special. I didn't care for her. I didn't care for a whole lot of her shit, but you know, the other people did.
I like the book. I'm not a big fan, but the book was very open. You know.
I would say about Amy Schumer, she did a lot of people jokes that I heard before. So you know, some of the jokes that she told I already heard. But Tim Dog, I want you to talk about with Joy. And Joy, you on it tonight. But Joy, I'm about to get you on this podcast. Fuck the Mad Professor. Let's get Miss Joy on the goddamn show.
Can
you come in? Cause
don't get mad that I make y'all look bad. Goddamn it. I'm still your white favorite. Don't worry.
I got you. But Joy said this.
I never put her again.
I think, Matt Professor, you said this earlier, and I think Tim Dog, you said this too. But Joy, I like your comment. You say this. You say her career didn't go down just because of a lack of support from Tyler Perry and Oprah. She's not that good in her opinion. Do you agree?
I
Tim Dog.
definitely agree, man. Fuck that. She started out as a B-rated
She was
comedian.
good in that show with her daughter and whatever Steve. She was
Hold
good.
on. Is your name Tim Dog? Is your name Tim Dog?
Yeah.
Then let me hear you bark.
Oh wow, she said bark. She
went
whole onomatopoetic. Goddamn.
Go ahead, Tim Dog.
I mean,
knock if you bark.
No, she started out as a B-rated comedian, moved her way up, and she thinks that, like a lot of these young people, she's entitled just because she put in the work as a comedian, but you didn't put in the work as an actor. You put in the work to try to win the comedian circuit. And when you got into acting, you loved it. You won an Academy Award, and you feel like, oh, I won an Academy Award. I should be one of the top rated actresses in the world. No, biatch. What you got to do, you got lucky, just like Manny. Manny didn't even go out there and do the shit that you did. She stayed in her place, made her money the way she could. But no, you got to go out there, lose the weight, get the big head instead of the big body, and blame every black person in power for your demise except for yourself. You was the one who made you. You was the one who controlled you.
I got you. Miss Paula, let me ask you this, Miss Paula. Let's just say that Tyler Perry, Oprah, Paula, she was just loud and okay. That was Miss George talking to Miss Paula. But let's just say that the apology that she wants never comes the way that she wants to get it, right? So what does, let's just say, a person, I'm not going to use Monique, what does a person has to do to move on? Because I'm not going to apologize the way that you want me to come to apologize to you. So what do you have to do for yourself to keep your mental health and move on and just say, I'm just going to let that go. I'm going to move on and make myself a better person, Miss Paula.
And I think somebody mentioned it, but it's insecurities. Because if you know how good you are and whatever, you shouldn't wait for somebody's apology to verify you that. And we constantly learn this, that you shouldn't wait for somebody's apology for you to learn who you are or how good you are. Like, the apology is good and shit, whether it comes or not. If you did no wrong and you're okay with who you are and whatever, fucking move on. Like, we are tired of hearing this apology. We know it's not coming. So what else you got, baby girl, apart from crying about this apology? And even as Tim said, right, there always, and I'm going to reference this to podcasting, right? There are always going to be new podcasters coming. And you sometimes see that podcasters who just started getting the recognition that you have been working for 4 years and not.
Yeah.
But are you supposed to back and shout? No. You're supposed to just figure out, you need to learn to be better for what you want and keep grinding. Like, they're always going to be better and bigger and good qualified people, or people with money. If you have enough money to drop it on buying shit and better marketing, baby, you're also going to be on the top. Some of us are not on the top because we don't have enough money to do marketing and shit. It's not that we're not good. It's just that we don't have enough money for that. So move on. We are tired of our crying, and this is no offense. And I remember Tyra Perry did apologize. I don't remember the apologize at that time, whatever. But I also remember her specifically saying Tyra Perry did apologize, but she didn't like the apology or whatever. But whether you like it or not, that becomes another question. Like, so now we're supposed to apologize to your quality of what an apology should be.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm gonna come and say, I'm sorry for what the fuck I did to you to make you feel bad. If you don't like it, that's on you.
That's on you. That's right. That's on you, and you move forward. And before we close this this episode of Two Cigars and a Blunt, man, good conversation, ladies and gentlemen. God damn. Good conversation. I know y'all was probably wondering where the man on the street was going with his apologies.
Oh, I knew. I came here because Tim owes me an apology. A big ass motherfucker. I went all the way to Baltimore and this nigga didn't come out to see me. And then he keeps talking shit on my pictures. Like, the fuck? No, I came straight out. When I saw those topics, I was like, I'm trying to say that today.
Say that for the after show.
We need to have a segment of me asking for an apology from Tim. Even though I don't care for his apology, but I do think he owes me a public apology.
Okay, Monique. Okay, Monique. You get your apology.
I apologize like 5, 6, 7 times.
I said your apology need to be as loud as your disrespect. I asked you on this platform. I told you on this platform I was coming, and then you sent
Tim
me
Dog
an
give you
apology
that.
after
Tim
saying
Dog gonna give you that apology
so
in
no, your
the
apology
after
wasn't
show.
as loud as my invite.
Tim Dog will give you the apology in the after show. But my take on this is that I think like everybody on the panel, it's time for Monique to move on. You know,
It
if the
is,
man
baby.
apologize,
It is.
and
And stay humble.
if the
No
man
matter how big
apologize,
you are, be humble, motherfucker.
yeah, if the man apologized and you didn't take the apologies the way that you think that he should apologize, take it for what it's worth. Hey, okay, he apologized. I'm gonna move on. But to keep going back and forth, especially especially at the time of Angie Stone's death, to come up and bring something up like that is just poor taste. If you ask me, that's terrible taste.
That was foul.
Yeah, that's foul, and a lot of people let her know that was foul. And but like my brothers always say, that's your red wagon. You either push it or pull it. So think about that.
That's country as hell.
And this is why people don't be
That's country
supporting her.
as
'Cause
hell.
how are you
God
coming?
damn.
Man, because why is that country?
It just plain dirt. Walk with your
That's-
empty feet.
No, that is
That's
your
your
red wagon. You either
that's your
push it or
red
you
wagon.
pull it.
That's your red wagon. You pull that some bitch or you pull it.
Push it or
That's
pull
your
it.
red
Hey,
wagon. That's your red
that's your
wagon.
red wagon. But
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, man,
But this
we
is
might-
why people don't support her, because Angie Stone, people love Angie Stone, and you're gonna
Yeah.
come on our funeral, like at least pick Kanye West's funeral to talk about that shit. People will
Yeah.
be on your
Did you say
side.
Kanye West funeral, nigga?
Yeah,
I mean, we are all dying. We
You
all
already called
dying. He might be the next one.
Yeah, well, you say because nobody's going to kiss your. That's
Your
right. Nobody's going to kiss you. You're right, though. You're right. Ladies and gentlemen,
At,
good
at least when
conversation.
it was fat, we would have kissed it. Now she's skinny ass bitch. She wants to kiss a skinny ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for
have a fat
tuning in
butt
and
at
having
80
a good
pounds.
time. Thank you for tuning in and having a good time. Like I said, I knew y'all probably wondering where the hell the man on the street was going with when I said the discussion we was going to talk about, because like I said before, we always talk about the news, we always talk about politics, but sometimes we need to get deep into like apologies and forgiveness and topics like that, because a lot of people don't know how to apologize, and then a lot of people don't know how to forgive.
Sam in this room.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
like you.
But ladies and gentlemen, before we go, we always got to give you something to think about, something funny, or better yet, where the fuck Tim Dog get that from? Tim Dog, where you get that from?
All right. Everyone knows that your poop says a lot about your overall health.
Oh my fucking God.
I need to go poop now.
Hey, that's a good thing. Let me
Can
tell
I
you
poop
why.
while I'm listening to you right now here?
Well, you already pooping. Anyway, a study published in Cell Reports Medicine reveals that bowel movement frequency significantly influences the physiological and the health of the person. With the best outcomes linked to passing stool at least twice a day. That's called the Goldilocks zone. You know what I'm saying? This data was collected by lifestyle and biological data from the subjects. Now, the frequency was broken down into 4 groups. It's called constipation, which is 1 or 2 bowel movements a week. Low normal, which is 3 to 5 bowel movements a week. High normal, which is 1 to 3 bowel movements a day. And diarrhea. I do not need to reiterate what that is. Okay. Stools that's left in the gut too long produce microbes that exhaust gas fibers they call strict anaerobes. Now, these anaerobes are used to help you digest and separate the foods that's in your stomach, but sometimes they ferment proteins and cause what they call P-cresols, sulfate, and endoxysulfate, which is too much in your body causes. Shut up, man. This makes you constipated, and toxins are very high in your bloodstreams, and it's also pressure on your kidneys. So, in order to prevent all this, what's the best thing to do? Fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables help the fibers in your body and your digestive system. Some people are called probiotics and biotics. Regulate your stool so that you can go regularly. You know what?
Yeah.
Shut the hell up.
Yeah, Tim Dog,
And
I'm about to put a time
have-
in your ass.
You know what?
I
I'm trying to
know.
help
Why
y'all
the
not to
fuck are
get
we listening
polyps.
to this shit?
You know what? That's because if you don't eat proper fruits and vegetables or plant-based diet, you are
Write us a
risking
blog.
getting colon polyps or colon cancer, rectal colon cancer, because your body's not regulating the food and dispose of it properly. That's why the fuck I'm saying this. Now, if you don't want to like it, then go ahead. Eat all red meat if you want to. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, I am.
Polyps in your stomach.
I got you, Tim. I got you. I got you, Tim, dog. But I ain't did this in a
Ungrateful
while.
ass motherfuckers.
Yeah, but you gonna get the
Negro, please.
so hey shit, goddamn. You took too goddamn long. Shit.
Hey,
Just
hey,
to say
I
that.
can explain. You know,
Hey,
you
yeah,
know,
damn.
eat your fruits and vegetables,
hey, you see what she
especially
say?
while you're young. You're welcome, Nora, because these ignorant mofos on this show don't give a damn. That's why they scared to get a colonoscopy.
I ain't
I've
scared.
had
shit.
one, thank you.
I had one too, so you
Yeah,
got to worry about
hey,
me. I'm gonna
thank
get mine.
you.
But thank you for that information, Tim, dog.
I
But
ain't
ladies and
thank you for
gentlemen,
that shit.
ladies and gentlemen, it's, like I said before, we always like to give you something, think about something funny. Better yet, with Tim Dog, get that from. But we also have another segment because this brother's always mad. So, Mad Professor, tell him why you mad. Mad Professor, tell him why you mad today.
Let me tell you why I'm mad. It's two things. One quick one is when the nigga get on a podcast and talk about taking a shit. That pisses me off. That's upsetting in so many goddamn ways that I can't even elaborate.
No,
But
be regular. It wasn't talking
the-
shit. It was be regular.
yeah, be regular in your shits. But anyway,
Go ahead, Mad Professor.
he put your government out there not to. But anyway, what really makes me
I
mad
see that.
is the hypocrisy of the Republican Party and maggots. And let me tell you what I mean. Earlier this weekend, well, last weekend, this week, the number 47 decided to put out to put planes in the air with Venezuelan gang members, quote unquote, saying that they were terrorists, and when a judge ordered him to turn the planes around, the administration said that they weren't going to turn them around because they were in international waters. The flights were over international waters. So if they're over international waters and you have no jurisdiction to turn the planes around, why are those international waters enough for you to rename the shit from the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America because your stupid ass is stupid? I mean, make it make sense, people. You can't have it two goddamn different ways. Either it's international waters and you have no jurisdiction, or you have jurisdiction over everything and you had to turn those planes around. All I want to know is why you think you can have it two damn ways. Because you're stupid.
That's right.
And
And
because
that's what,
that administration is shambolic.
and that's what I'm saying. And you know what's funny is, Miss Paula don't follow a lot of politics, but she even calling the orange something. She even said
she did the orange man.
Yeah, the orange man. So I totally agree with you on that. Miss Paula, I don't know. You be on your trips all the damn time. Every time I look, you in a damn different Detroit. We was in Detroit. Where else are you at?
I just came back I was in
Chicago.
Orlando with our legal went here.
Yeah. You always going someplace. I got to
came
get
back
you.
from Detroit and I'm going to Chicago next week.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to get you a segment on here. I got to think of what it's going to be called, but I don't want you to be left out. But Miss Paula,
I know I came back to people having segments and shit.
Yeah.
Like
I got one.
of course you do, Tim. You are a special one.
No, I got a name for yours.
I'm pretty sure it had to start with you. It didn't have to start with a mad professor. It had to start with you. So I'm okay with that.
But Miss Paula, what I want you to do is,
gives a damn.
Miss Paula, since you're here, tell the people what's on your mind. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be called. Miss Paula, tell the people what's on your mind.
She can't spell Sims.
So I want to remind people that life, no matter how much life is lifing, enjoy times with your loved ones. I left Orlando in January thinking I'm going to see our DJ who played on our last night, who plays on our normal last night, and we turn up on the dance floor. And he passed away literally 2 weeks. Thank God it was after his 11th-year-old daughter's birthday, but on that Sunday I spoke to him, and on Monday he died, and some people even spoke to him on Monday. So it's a reminder that don't wait for moments, make those moments matter. Like, make that call, take the trip, have time with your loved ones, and it reminded us we normally leave Podfest thinking that see you next year, same time, same place next year. Because most of us in Podfest, we only see each other and meet each other again. But we have tried to now. 2 weeks ago, the lawyer, I call him my podcast lawyer. He's the only podcast lawyer I know. He lives in LA. He was in Atlanta, and he wanted to. He made time to see me. And Red Hat, Rally Hat, like they come and they see me. So when your people in your city, even if it's last minute and you can make time, see them because you never know. So I'm here to remind you that tomorrow is no promise. We always think it is. We always assume we'll see each other again on the next reunion, on the next trip, on the next vacation. But it's not. So make time for those people.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. That's what it is. Miss Paula, tell them what's on your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what Miss Paula said when we call. I just got to get a video together now. Ladies and gentlemen, like we said, we all like give you something to think about, something funny. I better get with Tim Dog, get that from Tim. Tim Dog already gave you that. So, Matt Professor, what you got for the people before we go?
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, well, somebody call you. You might have to go use the restroom.
What? No. I did that earlier. Thank you.
I got you.
But no. I'm trying to remember. There was a phrase that that JFK put out, and I'm gonna have to paraphrase because I don't remember. I don't remember it word for word, but it was something to the effect of some people want to blame problems on Republicans and others want to blame it on Democrats when the only people we can blame is ourselves for either how we vote or how we don't vote. Like I said, that's not the exact phrase, but that's paraphrasing. So yeah, people, those of you who didn't vote and those of you who voted wrong, I don't want to hear you complaining about how what the world is now. This is what you gave us. Thank you.
Right.
Stupid can't fix stupid.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Miss
Can
Paula.
I say something if you don't mind?
No, you can say it on your segment.
Oh,
when
we
I
mind.
say Tip Dog.
No. I just want to make a statement if you don't
Go ahead,
mind,
my brother.
please. You know, when you think there's no hope left, just remember the lobsters in the tank at the Titanic restaurant before it sank.
Negro, please.
Thank you.
Negro, please. Negro, please.
And Tim Dog, that's your tell the people what's on your goddamn. You ain't getting nothing else. Shit, you don't fuck up twice. Mr. Paula, what you got for the people before we go? Miss Paula, what you got for this? What you got for the sisters before we go, Miss Paula? hold on, Miss Paula, before you say, because Nora want to say what? What? Yeah, say your thing, Miss Paula. Be like, what? What the hell? Go ahead, Miss.
Just remember, Paula, the lobsters, they can escape too. So,
Miss Paula, what you got for the people before we go?
If you voted for Trump, don't come to me talking to me about immigration shit. You voted, you knew what. I don't care the reasoning, and this is the thing. When it came to politics, I didn't care what your reasoning was, why you voted. But now you're running around and coming to me and talking about immigration shit. I don't want to hear it. You voted for the nigger. Shut up. Leave me alone.
That's what I'm talking about, Miss Paula. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hey, before we go,
know what, Bo? That's all right,
Bo. Before we shout out, next up is the Asked Out, and that's our after show, and that's for everybody.
Oh, I got some shit to take out my chest, mother.
That's right. That's what everybody gets a chance to talk about. They want to talk about. But ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't watched the after show, we have a good time because we talk about shit like this. So you want to stick around for the after show?
I must have missed a few shots, cuz.
We gonna stick around for the after show.
I must have missed a few shots.
We're gonna have some good goddamn time because that's what we do on the after show. Look at Joy.
Man, nope.
You
guys
have a good
joy.
time.
Nope.
We always have a good goddamn time. Cause like I said, on the after show,
Look
it
at the
may go right, it may go left.
That shit,
Go right,
that shit didn't snap like a
it may
pickle.
go right down the middle. So, Matt Professor, before we go, shout out your socials so that people can follow you, my brother.
I don't even have a social anymore. Nope.
You surely don't.
Tim Dog, shout out your socials so that people can follow you, my brother.
He said no to the no.
I can't. I'm still recovering.
No to the no, no, no. No to the no, no, no.
Oh, shit.
直播直播，速来速来！
Yeah, we can talk about that in the after show.
I
Tim Dog, shout out
bringing
to
a
social.
banana to the next show. I'm bringing a banana to the next show.
Jim's
I didn't know that.
underscored.
I didn't know that's how daddy we going in here. I'm gonna come with my banana and eat it nicely in a
Tim Dog.
normal way,
All right, Tim Dog, shout out to social.
like how a
Yeah.
banana should be eaten.
No. Fuck that.
Shout out to social, Tim Dog.
My
You
banana.
follow
gone.
me on Instagram. Snap, crackle, and pop.
Talk about timing, motherfucker.
Social, man.
Go Instagram at Father's Love 99. You can follow my son who's trying to be an entrepreneur. Jim's underscored woodworking 1.
That's what I'm talking about. Miss
Facebook
Paula,
James Melvin.
Miss Paula, shout out your socials. People follow you, my sister.
Ooh.
I don't know if I even want your motherfuckers to follow me, but if you must, at
Too late.
talkshitwithp.com, at talkshitwithp. But talkshitwithp is getting a finale. We are shutting down talkshitwithp very soon. So
I got you. Well, I got to get you on before. And of course, you can follow me at the That's Nope. It's now the Man on the Street show. Oh man, I dropped the new video last night
Shit.
with my new intro. So y'all make sure you check me out. The Man on the Street is going to claim it. Like they say, claim it. So I'm claiming the Man on the Street. It's the Man on the Street show. You also follow me at Creative Canvas Expressions on YouTube. You also follow us on 2 Cigars and a Blunt on YouTube and on Facebook. And also check us out on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock for the Better Than Sex Sports podcast on YouTube and Facebook. It goes down at 7 o'clock. All we do is talk about sports. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said earlier, in case you saw the video, we're going to talk about that when we come back on the after show called Asked Out. And like I say, all we do is have a good damn time. You have a good laugh. If you're having a bad week, you want to watch the after show. Because like I said before, we don't know where the show going to go. It may go straight, it may go left, it may go right, but we have a good time.
God damn it! How dare you bring up straight?
I was like, what is straight?
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Man on the Street.
Tim Dog from Be More Careful. That fact person ain't the dry shrinking your clothes, it's the refrigerator.
Tim Dog, you ain't gonna get shit else, man. We just gonna kick you the fuck out. You just come back on the Go ahead, Mad Professor. I'm sorry.
This is the Mad Professor. I'm going to check my shit between shows.
Number 2, number 3.
You all right? You all right down there?
Go ahead, Miss Paula.
Talk shit with P. Not sure why the fuck I'm here.
That's right, ladies and
Your
gentlemen.
last name.
Hey, check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Like I say, we coming back with the after show in about 10 minutes. So you want to come back because we're going to have a good time with doing that as well. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we see y'all next Friday. Peace.